y'all, and welcome to today's video. I am super excited because I have the new Unearthly Cosmetics Vitality palette here with me. I have been wanting to play with this palette. I'm so excited about it. It's so beautiful. If you haven't seen the inside yet, just look at all these colors. I cannot wait. We're gonna create some looks. I am going to swatch this palette for you, and I am going to review this palette, let you know what I think about this one because it's so colorful. It looks so beautiful. I can't wait to play with it. And if you are new here, hey, my name is Heather and makeup makes me happy. Here at my channel, we don't try to be perfect. We just want to have a good time with our makeup, whatever that means. I do upload lots of new videos every single week. So if you like today's video, I do hope that you will subscribe before you leave. But I'm so excited to play with this palette. Oh, I've just been anxiously awaiting it. I want to put it on my eyes. I want to swatch it, all of that. So let's jump into it. I do want to go ahead and say that Unearthly Cosmetics is one of my favorite brands. I love indie brands here on my channel, and Unearthly is a brand I am super familiar with. I have tons of their palettes. I have a whole Unearthly playlist. So if you're curious about any of their other stuff or what I think about it, definitely check out that playlist because they did send me this palette. This was gifted, but I have bought tons of their palettes. I love the brand. I do have an affiliate code with Unearthly Cosmetics. If you want, you can use code Heather to save. Of course, you don't have to, but I always like to let you know because listen, when I shop online, I'm always using codes, looking for codes because I want to save some money. You know, let's talk about this palette though. I cannot wait to play with it. I think this packaging is so beautiful. It's very ethereal. I think the name Vitality is just perfect for this one. We have a huge mirror inside and we have a beautiful, beautiful palette. So I am going to show you a close-up of this one so that you can see what it looks like when it's all fresh and new. I really like the layout of this palette. If you look at a big palette like this and you get overwhelmed, just use this palette in columns. 1, 2, 3, 4. Use these 4 shades, create a look, done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Use those 4 shades and so on. Like just stick with the column. And then maybe when you get more comfortable, you can mix and max the shades because we definitely have quads here too. I think this palette was laid out in a very like user-friendly way. And of course, if you're looking at this palette and you're like, I bought this palette, I don't know what to do with it, I'm here for you because I'm going to create some looks and I'm going to give you some inspiration. This is a mostly matte palette, which I think is really, really fun. And we do have those beautiful Unearthly Cosmetics shimmers that I know and love. So I do want to show you swatches of this palette because it's so colorful, but it's so pretty. I like that we have some kind of grungy tones in here. It just, to me, some of the colors look really unique. So I'm very, very excited to create with this palette. I want to play with it. I really just want to dip my brushes in and I want to put it on my face. So that is what we are going to do. I am going to prime my eyes. I'm going to zoom y'all in and we are going to create our first look. I'm so ready to play with makeup, so let's do it. All right, y'all, look 1. Let me just go ahead and tell you, I filmed look 1. It was beautiful. I was feeling myself all day. I was like, yes, yes, yes. I made a TikTok. It was great. I went to edit and the footage was not clear. It was not what I was happy with. When I put out videos, I want to make sure y'all are seeing what I am seeing. I don't want there to be a difference, you know? So we scrapped look 1. If you saw my TikTok where I'm doing like the cartoon thing, that's the look. That's the look I made. I loved it. But we're going to create a different look because I never film the same look twice. Nothing sounds worse to me than having to do the same makeup look twice. So we're going to play, and I don't know what I want to do today. The standouts in that first look were this shade right here and then this shade up here. Like, those were the two stars of the show, if you will. So I know I want to play with those again because I want to show you those colors on. So what I think I'm going to do is, I spoke too soon. I don't know what I think I'm gonna do, but let's start with this shade because I've been like really wanting to use it again because I loved it so much. So what I'm gonna do, let me think about what I'm gonna do actually. I think I'm just gonna pop it all in the crease, above the crease, below the crease. Listen, we're here for the messy makeup. So I'm gonna pick this up. This is an Unearthly brush. Make sure I have no creases in my eye primer. And I'm just gonna put this shade on because this shade is so incredibly pretty. It was the first shade that really, like, my eyes were going to it in the palette. I think it's beautiful. Like, this fuchsia shade, I just can't get over it. Like, I can't get over it. And it was so pretty with that kind of icy, sparkly baby blue. So even though we're not going to do the same look, we're going to use these two colors together because I just loved it. Like, I absolutely loved it. So, okay. Enough blabbering about that. I'm going to put this shade in my crease. And then what I'm going to do is get a fluffier brush. And I'm going to go into animation. And we're going to put this, like, along the top of it. That's the plan. Okay, so shade's looking beautiful. I'm just now taking that hot pink on a E49 from Sigma, and I'm just kind of buffing along the edge. I thought it would be fun to work from dark to light today, and I'm just kind of buffing the edges, and then I'm going to go to the light pink shade, this one right here, Feeling, that's like very, 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 very light. And I'm even going to mix that in as well. Just having fun with those three shades in this column, making sure I have a nice blend. Okay, the colors that I'm wanting to use with this, I'm wanting to use Striking right here. I'm wanting to use Bounce and probably a little bit of Zing. So this one, this one, this one. But I want to put that Bounce shade all over the lid and I want it to be intense. So I'm going to put down some of my KARLA Fix Potion. I've got a Sigma E54. That's what I want to put the shadow shade on with. But let me see, let me get a little brush to pick up some of this Fix Potion. And I'm gonna look down into my mirror like this. So I'm looking at you, then I'm looking down. And I'm gonna put this all over my lid so that we can really, really get this look. That potion picked up the pigment, didn't it? Okay, so now I'm gonna pick up Bounce. And I'm going to tap it on with this Sigma brush all over my lid. So I'm just going to press that on. Are those colors not beautiful beside one another? I just think they look so pretty next to each other. They were made to be together. Okay, so I'm going back to that first brush and I want to kind of blend because I want the sparkle to be up a little bit. Like, I just want this look to be very ethereal and not structured. So I'm just doing this to kind of take some of that sparkle up and not keep it just on the lid. I want the main part of that color to stay on the lid, but I want the sparkle to be up and about and living its best life and having a good time, you know? So fluffing that around, I'm gonna go in with my E57 from Sigma, and I'm going into that striking shade, and it going on my lower lash line. Right here, back and forth, blue lower lash line. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, okay, that is so pretty. Okay, here for it, here for it, here for it. And then what I'm gonna do is grab my little Unearthly brush, go into that pink shade Zing, and that's my inner corner shade. I'm feeling it. I'm gonna do liner, lashes, and then I will come back. We'll see how the look comes together. All right, y'all, this is my finished look. Of course, I'm super into it. I think y'all could tell throughout the whole process that I'm just loving this look, loving the way the colors came out. I put on some of my Milk eyeliner. I put on some Kiss Ruffle lashes because I thought lashes would be so pretty with this. I'm wearing my Give Beauty Screen My Phone Calls lipstick. I'm wearing Unearthly Cosmetics Pop Blush with the Unearthly Cosmetics Low Light palette, and I'm wearing this shade right here as highlight. I wanted to do like that purpley type of highlight. I think it looks so pretty. I'm so into it, but I do have 2 more looks to share with you, so let's jump into that. All right, I am back again for another look. I absolutely loved my first look. I thought it was so fun, so colorful. So I thought we could try out a still colorful look, but maybe a little more toned down, a little more grungy. Maybe you don't want to go out with super bright eyes, but you have this palette and you're like, well, like, what else can I do? Can I do something different? So I'm gonna do something playing with this brown, maybe with this kind of peachy shade here. I really want to dip into this shade Spirit. So those are kind of be like the main 3 shades that we're focused on. Of course, we're gonna do some sparkle. I mean, it's me. I'm gonna put some sparkle on it, but those are gonna be like the grounding, the inspiration, the base for our look. So we're gonna use Spirit, Gusto, and Live right there. And my eyes are primed. I've got my Sigma primer on. So what I want to do, let me go into this Unearthly brush. This is an A6. And I want to go into Spirit first. I'm going to pat, make sure I don't have any like creases in my eye primer, because I definitely would not want to like set those in. But I'm going to take this right in here. So I'm going right here with my brush. And then I'm going to take this in the crease, but not all the way out. I'm going to leave this part blank because that's where we're going to add that darker brown shade. But first, I want to get this olive shade down, and it just looks so pretty. And I think if you put this next to the other matte greens, the brighter shades, it will pull brighter, but I'm going to pair it with the brown. So it's going to take this to a little more, like just a bit more of a grungy direction. So that's what we're going to do with this shade. Just putting it right in here and then blending out. And I want this to be a pretty blended look. So I'm just going to spend a little extra time buffing. I'm holding the brush super low down and just barely grazing my skin, not applying a lot of pressure at all. I can just barely feel the bristles on my face. Okay, that shade, so pretty. I'm gonna take my E45 Max brush from Sigma, and I'm going right into that shade Live or Live. And I want to put this right here. I think this is such a pretty, warm, grungy brown. I really like the undertone of this. I think it's so beautiful. And I just want to put this like at the lash line, of course, and then up, and I'm just kind of stippling it on, you see, like this. And then I will lightly blend. I want to make sure I have that pigment right where I want it though. And then I'm going to go in with that lighter kind of peachy brown shade. And I want to pick it up on this brush. This is a E33 from Sigma. And I'll kind of buff along the edge of this, but I want it to be a nice fade and a nice blend. So I'm going to go back and forth with the shade Live and the shade, what was that, Gusto, and just kind of like blend, blend, blend. You could definitely go in with the lighter shade first, blend the deeper shade on top of it, whatever your personal preference is. I've used, you know, Unearthly shadows, dark to light and light to dark. They work well either way, but I'm just kind of feeling this technique today. So I'm just gonna go back and forth. I'm just having a good time playing with makeup today. When I was doing like foundation, powder, and concealer, I've just been like listening to music, taking my time. So that's what I'm kind of gonna do with this eye look as well. I just want to have fun blending the shades. I want to have fun creating something a little dramatic. Okay, love is how I'm feeling so far. There's something about greens and browns that just speak to me, you know? I want to keep this grungy, but I also kind of want to keep the green element in the look. So what I'm going to do is grab this shade right here called Thriving. This is like not really deep, but also not mid-tone. So somewhere in between mid-tone and deep green right here, kind of like what I would describe as like a forest green. If I were going to color a picture with some pine trees, this is probably what I would use for the pine needles. But I want to go in with this color on the lower lash line. I want to keep this color super close to the lower lash line. And then what I think I'll do is buff it out with maybe a teeny tiny bit of this orange. And we'll see how that goes. I may end up adding in a little bit of the dark brown too. But that's kind of like the thought process in my head. So I'm going to grab this Unearthly brush. Anytime you see these black green brushes, these are Unearthly, and I want to get close, like, see, I'm getting my mirror close, and I'm going to press this deep green right up against the lower lash line, very, very close to it, pressing it in like that, because I want to keep this right there. And I actually think I'm going to mix that orange and that dark brown together. So I'm going to go back this Sigma brush. I cleaned it because I used it for that first look. This is an E57. I'm going to go into the orange shade Infinite first. And then I'm just going to dip once into the shade Live. And I'm going to slowly buff along the edge of that green. Yes, that's exactly what I want. Like a warmer but lighter brown shade, and that orange is gonna come through and give it to me. So just buffing. When I do this type of buff on my lower lash line, I don't even look in a mirror. Like, I look to where to place it, and then I just kind of feel where my brush is. So back and forth, I kind of move my head, look up, and just buff in until I feel like, okay, that's probably blended, and then I'll check and see if I need to blend somewhere else. But it's just a very subtle difference, and I think mixing that orange and that brown really gave me the tone that I'm looking for. Okay, for the lid, I want to use this shade right here. It looks super yellow in the pan, but actually, you know what? I took some swatches outside of the shimmers. So let me kind of show you this shimmer swatches. It's just on my phone. I wanted to kind of like see the sparkle, see what I could capture. So you can see those, and you can see that the yellow has like this green shift to it. It's really, really pretty. So what I want to do is put some of this Verve shade right here, because it's this deep shifty shade. I want to put that maybe right out here. I don't want to take it too far over the matte brown, but I want to layer this, and then I want to bring this shade right into this part of the lid, and then a little bit of like highlight for the inner corner. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to use both of these shades. Okay, so I'm starting first with the shade Energy, the lighter kind of yellowy shade, and I'm just pressing that right here. This is a really pretty shade that can definitely be used as like a topper if you want to. If you don't want to make it like super opaque, you can use a more fluffy brush like I am and just kind of use it like this, or you could definitely like put on a glitter glue, something like that, or use like a packing brush and pack it. But I'm using this fluffier brush because it's really going to show off the sparkle, and then I'm taking it to the inner corner too, just like that. But look at how beautiful and how sparkly that shade is. It's really, really stunning. So I'm just pressing that on like this. And then I'm taking this flat Unearthly brush, and I'm just gonna look down, and I'm taking that shade Verve. And same thing, I'm just kind of using this as a shade in between like the bright inner corner, then it's layered for a little bit deeper. Then we're gonna have this Verve shimmer, and then it's gonna go to that deeper brown outer corner. So we just have some really pretty dimension on the lid. So I'm just kind of pressing that on, picking up a little and pressing it on with this flat brush so that I do have a little more control. But I'm going to finish off the look with liner and lashes, and I will be back to show y'all. Okay, y'all, here is the finished look. I'm super into it, very happy with it. I did add some Kiss Ruffle lashes. I added brown to the waterline with my Milk eyeliner, and NYX liquid liner. What else do I have on? Okay. I'm like, okay, Heather, think, what's next? The Cinderella Duo from Sigma is my blush and highlight, and same for the lip, Sigma Cinderella. I'm into it. I'm feeling this look. I feel great in this. Definitely something a little different, because I know when I first look at this Vitality palette, I see color, 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 color. So I thought it'd be fun to do something like this. The brown and the green, it was just calling to me, speaking to me. So I'm super into this look. I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you like it. I hope that even if you hate this look and you're like, oh my gosh, that's the worst look I've ever seen in my life, I hope that maybe you still enjoyed watching, because maybe it was at least entertaining for you, you know. But I love the look, and I don't want to end it at 2 looks, so let's do another one. All right, we are back for the 3rd look. I want to play with some of these colors over here, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do, maybe start with the yellow, and then we'll go to this lighter green, and then I think maybe I'll dip into Glee. I'm not really sure. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking a matte inner corner. So I'm going to take this Unearthly brush. I'm going to go into that yellow shade Zeal, and I'm going to start with my inner corner, because I kind of want to like just take this look from light to dark. So I'm just going to put this not just right in the inner corner, but a little bit wrapped around the lash line like this, and then up as well. I think that's gonna be, yeah, that's gonna be what I'm going for. I could put down the white shadow before I layer this yellow on to make it a little lighter and brighter, but I'm liking the way it's looking just like that. Then I'm gonna jump over. Let's do this Unearthly brush. I'm going to go into that light mint called Vibrancy, and I'm going to put it here. There we go. Right here. So we kind of have yellow to that lighter mint green shade, just like that. Okay, now that I have these two shades down and I'm loving the way they're looking, I was thinking of taking it to this green shade, but I don't want to. I want to go to Vibe, this bright purple. And then we're going to do Glee, that brighter green, on the lower lash line instead of in the outer corner. I want to keep a little more color right up here. So I'm just going to press this shadow on and then buff it in like that. Yes, this is a Sigma E3 brush. And I can go back and blend in just a second, but right now I just want to put this color right here, this shade Vibe. Yes, okay. Now that I can see it on the eyes, I see that I'm loving this yellow to mint green to this purple out here. Oh yeah, I'm really loving the way those colors are flowing together. And like I said, I'll go back and blend it in a second, but I'm going to take my E57 shader brush from Sigma, and I want this under the lower lash line. This color, what did I say it's called? Glee? Yeah, that's pretty. That is exactly what I was looking for. Okay, I think this would be beautiful as an all matte look. You could totally throw on mascara and go, but I want to add some shimmer and sparkle, so we're going to go into the shade Deluxe right down here. This really pretty pinky shade. All right, I am going to put this all over the lid. I think this pink is going to be such a pretty contrast. I'm gonna throw on liner and mascara. We're gonna skip lashes today, and I'll be back and we'll see how everything comes together. All right, y'all, here is the finished look. I'm super into it. I wanted to do something more pastel, very light, very breezy with this palette, just so I could kind of show y'all like a variety of different looks. But I added some of the Immortality liquid eyeliner in the shade Treasure. And then for lips, I'm wearing my Huda Beauty lip contour in the shade Warm Brown. I went on with my Unearthly Cupid gloss. For blush and highlight, I'm wearing singles from Unearthly in Burst and Golden. So I just added some of my One Size mascara. That's how I finished off this look. But let me tell you my thoughts on this palette. I've done 3 looks for y'all. I've been playing with it off camera, and I'm ready to kind of like give my review. First of all, if you've ever tried Unearthly cosmetics, this is that quality that we know and love, like the Sleepover palette, like the Lure palette, the palettes that we love from Unearthly. This is that great formula. The mattes are very pigmented, they're very easy to build, they're very easy to blend. The shimmers are very sparkly, very shifty. I like that this palette, we have a lot of bright shades, but you saw in my second look with the grungy eye, we were still able to go grungy. You could definitely keep it even more neutral than that if you omitted the green shade that I used. I like that we have some pastels, so maybe you haven't gotten a pastel palette yet, you want to add some pastels to your collection, but you don't want a full palette of pastels. This could be a good option because you do have pastel purple, green, yellow, blue, pink. Like, you have some options here, and then you also have these really bright shades. I like that we have some deepening up shades. Overall, very happy with this palette. If Unearthly did not send it to me, I would have purchased it myself. I think it's so beautiful, and I'm really excited to have this one in my collection. Oh, I wanted to show you a size reference. Like, look at it near my hand. I think online it looked a lot bigger, like we were thinking it was going to be like a big Be Perfect palette, but it's about the size of my hand, so it's not too large, and I like that with these smaller pans. I like the big mirror. So overall, I had a great experience with this palette. I really hope that you liked these looks. I'm excited to keep playing with it, keep using it. I think it's so beautiful. I will have everything that I talked about in this video linked down below, so definitely check the description box if you're curious about anything. I hope that you're having a super awesome, amazing, wonderful, fun day, and I'll see you very soon in another video. Bye!